Hi everybody, it's Honest John again. Now, conservatives like to say they're for small government. Makes for a good soundbite or a bumper sticker, but it's basically a flat-out lie. For example, they want the government to make decisions about women's health care. And of course they want the government to force women to carry every baby they get pregnant with to term. Now, monitoring every vagina in the United States would be a real expensive proposition. I mean, we would have to hire millions of pussy police. It would eventually break the country. The whole idea of big government versus small government is a lot more complicated than what people think it is. But if we want to spend less and have smaller government, there are some ways that we can start. The first is with our Congress. Right now they're getting a full year's pay for half a year's work, and even when they are at work, they really don't get much done. So let's cut their pay in half with the option of cutting more if they don't get their act together. And we should end pensions for congressmen and the president. The government workers should get their pensions, but politicians and the pensions for them right away. If they knew that they were going to have to depend on Social Security, they'd be a lot more concerned about making sure that we preserve it. Now, another area that in government spending has grown is since 9/11 has been our national security agencies. We created the Department of Homeland Security, which is a bloated bureaucracy that can't do anything. And we don't need to be doing all this data mining, scooping up listening to every phone call. Look, we got all these security agencies, and they couldn't figure out that Russia was about to invade Ukraine when even I knew that, and I'm not a spy. And we've got so many people working for these agencies that have top secret clearances and all that we can't keep a secret. Security agencies need to be small, smart, and focused on the threats. It is just as dangerous to collect way too much information as it is to collect too little. We also spend way too much money on the military. I'm a big supporter of the military, but there's a lot of wasteful spending with the military. For one thing, we've got over 750 military bases around the world. We just don't need that many. One way that we can cut the number of bases that we have in half is, instead of having separate bases for each branch of the military, have multidisciplinary bases in which all branches of the military share the base. They coordinate better, they get to know each other better, they work better, it makes us safer. And the military should never be forced to spend money on weapons they don't need just because they come from a particular state or a particular congressman's district, which happens now. There are weapons the military don't need that Congress forces them to buy. Military should always have the last word on what weapons they're going to buy, and if they don't want it, that ends the program right there. We need to end corporate welfare. And we need to end all the tax loopholes for the rich. This is spending. This is spending. These corporations that make billions of dollars, right? We also are giving them our taxpayer dollars. That's ridiculous. We spend about 8 times as much on helping the rich as we do helping the poor. We need to cut that, and we need to expand our help for the poor. That actually helps the economy. Giving money to the rich is bad for the economy. Now here is another area that government needs to be expanding. Our fossil fuel industry, coal and oil, we need to watch them like fucking hawks. They're constantly spilling up. We've had these big coal ash spills. We've had bunches of oil spills. They need to be regulated the shit out of so that they're not cutting any corners, and so that they're taking extra steps for safety instead of that. Now, where we need to expand the government is in helping the poor. The more money that we use to help the poor and the middle class, that money flows out into the economy, everybody benefits. So instead of cutting our food stamp program, we should expand them. Right? Oh, and by the way, we should end Obamacare and go to simple single payer. Right? It would be much less expensive and much more efficient. Yeah, it would be a government takeover of healthcare. So fucking what? So yeah, I'm for small government, but I'm also for big government, because that's what makes sense. Thanks for listening.